Good evening, everyone. While the live stream is being fixed, welcome to our third virtual learning session on Indigenous Peoples-led renewable energy initiatives. I'm Roby Halip. I'm with the Kalanguya and Kankana Indigenous Peoples in the Cordillera region in the Philippines, and I'm with the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples. So the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples was established in 2018. It's an Indigenous peoples-led multi-stakeholder partnership that advances a just and equitable energy transition for Indigenous peoples, one by highlighting challenges we face in the energy transition, but also our initiatives in advancing our renewable energy futures, anchored in our self-determination, indigenous knowledge, and indigenous governance. This monthly virtual learning session is part of the Right Energy Partnership's Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders program. It's a learning program that aims to strengthen interlearning among Indigenous peoples through trainings, virtual exchange sessions, in-person interlearning exchanges, and sharing of resource materials, among others, on experiences and innovations of Indigenous peoples and renewable energy systems managed by Indigenous peoples, grounded on Indigenous peoples' knowledge, and the realization of our right to self-determination. Recognizing that every energy transition includes both opportunities and constraints, this virtual session will examine challenges such as limited access to the right financing, policy and regulatory barriers, technical capacity gaps, and sustainability concerns of Indigenous peoples in relation to renewable energy initiatives that we are spearheading. In this learning session, Indigenous peoples will also share lessons learned from the implementation, including strategies for overcoming external dependency, negotiating partnerships, and ensuring long-term system viability. So these reflections will provide practical insights for replication and scaling, while also safeguarding Indigenous peoples' governance over their territories and resources. I'll be turning over to my colleague Richard, who will be moderating this session. But just to let you know that interpretation is available from Nepali to English and English to Nepali, as our speakers for this learning session will be from the Tharu Indigenous women in Nepal. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Rovi, for the introduction and for providing the background on the Indigenous Peoples Renewable Energy Pathfinders, this webinar series, and the important work of the Right Energy Partnership with Indigenous Peoples. So, building on that, today's episode, which is our third episode now, will bring us to Bardiya in Nepal, where the Tharu Indigenous women are showing what a just and people-centered energy transition can look like in practice. We have a featured organization, the Tharu Women's Upliftment Center, or TWUC. It's an Indigenous women's-led organization that has been at the forefront of advancing Indigenous women's leadership, food security, and now their community-based renewable energy initiative. Their initiatives include solar-powered irrigation, improved cooking stoves, and climate-resilient farming. And the Taro Women's Upliftment Center is demonstrating how Indigenous women are not just participants, but are leaders and organizers and decision makers in the energy transition. So with that, let's welcome the Women's Upliftment Center as the featured organization for today, for tonight. And we invite them to share their journey and reflection with all of us. So may we invite Ma'am Prisma from the Taro Women's Upliftment Center to start the conversation.
Hello, namaste. I'm on the behalf, representing on the behalf of Tharu Women Upliftment Center, and thank you for giving me this opportunity and platform to talk about Tharu Women Upliftment Center. And in short, we represent it as a TWC, and I am Prisma Singh Tharu, who is Executive Director as well as founder member of Tharu Women Upliftment Center. And and now I'm going to present about the projects and activities that Tharu Women Upliftment Center has done in regards to renewable energy resources. TWC has been working in renewable energy project, and now I'm going to discuss on these projects. Tharu Women Upliftment Center was established in 1992, and its headquarters is in Bardiya, Nepal. And there are 9 board members, out of which 7 are Tharu Indigenous women and 2 are others. And altogether, there are 200 members in Tharu Women Upliftment Center. And in the board committee, all these 9 members are women. And here I'm going to talk about why renewable energy became important and become reasonable for us was due to climate change. There was irregular rainfall, and in Tarai region there are indigenous community who are dependent on agriculture, and also they are also dependent on natural resources like firewoods for their cooking and for agriculture produce for their income. and and in Tara region, there are almost majority of the houses who cook their meal in firewood, and due to which various kind of health hazards was being seen. And in Tharu community, we can see there's a household where cooking and sleeping room is the same, and due to which, when people were cooking in firewoods, many kinds of health problems were seen. And due to climate change, due to irregular rainfall, there has been also problem of drought. And since majority of the livelihood is dependent on agriculture, it was impacting them directly. Since all the livelihood was dependent on agriculture, due to irregular rainfall, we could see the lessening of income, and also due to less income and lack of job opportunities, majority of the male and youth of the family were migrating outside for job opportunities, due to which the workload for the female was increasing. That's why that's why we were facing the challenges where women were facing the workload as well as less income. Women were totally involved in agriculture, household care, child care, elderly care, as well as even after these challenges, though they were doing agriculture activities, there was lack of market, and also they were not getting the prices for their agriculture produce. And and this and this was this was when women were not able to get the prices of their agriculture produce, they were going on daily labor wage work, where they could get the direct cash. And for because of these reasons, we could see the need for renewable energy in Tharu Indigenous community. And since 2025, we have started work in renewable energy projects, and till now we have we have installed 16 solar irrigation pumps, and four irrigation pumps was provided by CEMSOJ, which was installed by Tharu Women Upliftment Center, and 25 women were given training for solar installation and procurement trainings. Also, 20 women were given training on installation and procurement of improved cooking stoves. And since there were limited number of solar irrigation pumps, we were installing those pumps in groups so that one solar irrigation pump could provide for 5 households nearby. And also we have provided 500 improved cooking stoves to the community members. And still the demand is high, but we were not able to provide the solar irrigation pumps as per the demand. Earlier, we could see that there was irregular rainfall due to which agricultural produce was affected, and now due to solar irrigation pumps, they can do twice seasonal agricultural produce as well as mixed cropping. Also, earlier due to lack of water, people were not able to do plantation on time, but now they can do the plantation on time as well as save the seeds for the next year. Also, due to improved cooking stoves, there has been seen saving in time and in health, and also money. The challenges that TWC faced while while working on these renewable energy projects, that was a lack of technical persons, since TWC didn't have any technical persons which were directly experienced in renewable energy. So we have to ask for technical professionals outside the local province, which was time consuming. And also we could see that if there was some problems in the equipments which were also being transported from outside the province or region, if there was any damage in the equipments, we had to wait for a certain time, which was also lengthy for us while working in the project. Our Our future plans is that we give more technical trainings to women, and also the refreshment trainings, not only the one-time training to women, and also we will be able to provide the solar irrigation pumps and other renewable energy equipments to the community as per the demand, and also linking those agricultural produce to the market, and also capacity building of indigenous institutions. and also we are working on, we call for action for the capacity building of community as well as the human resource of indigenous institutions. The solar irrigation pump has helped in agricultural produce, which has doubled the crops, as well as due to improved cooking stoves. The health issues and time saving has immensely increased. Let's go in solidarity with renewable energy projects and make empowered community. Here we were teaching the women trainees regarding solar, regarding improved cooking stoves, as well as this. This is how we also we are also showing the small video regarding the solar installation of solar irrigation pumps. Thank you. Thank you. My presentation has ended, and if you have any queries or any questions for me, you can present.
Thank you, Ma'am Prisma. Monica, you mentioned there will be a video. So, okay.
Yes, Richard, I'm just telling them like to play the video.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Prisma, for sharing the work of TWUC and what actually prompted the work of TWUC on renewable energy and for sharing the challenges. Do you have another speaker or do we proceed with CEMSOJ? Monica, can you confirm if they have another speaker?
They do have their secretary who was greetings. I am Susma Chaudhary. I am from Gularia, Ward 4, Bardiya. I was a community member that was of a group which was formed by Tharu Upliftment Center, and that community was also supported for renewable energy project. And now I am working as a secretary of Tharu Upliftment Center. This is how they are showing the role of bringing Tharu Indigenous women from community to leading position. Thank you. I think we have completed our part.
Okay, thank you to our colleagues in the TWC. With this, we proceed with the presentation also from the community empowerment for social justice in Nepal. Will it be Pranisha or Praveen? I think it is Pranisha. So you have the floor.
Okay, hello everyone. Namaste, Jojalapa. And firstly, I would like to thank IREP for giving us an opportunity to share our community-based renewable energy project. Shortly, we call it as CBREP Initiative of Nepal. Together with, I'm also like happy to share this floor together with our collaborating partner, Tharu Women's Upliftment Center in the Bardiya, Nepal, which is in the far western Nepal. So yeah, like to begin, from my introduction, I am Pranisha Shakya and I'm with Community Empowerment and Social Justice Network, CEMSOJ, and I'm currently working as Program and Research Officer here. And to begin my presentation, I would like to briefly introduce more about the CEMSOJ, Community Empowerment and Social Justice Network. CEMSOJ is an apolitical, not-for-profit, and a collective of human rights activists and grassroots-led development activists founded in 2015. It works mainly for socioeconomic empowerment and human rights and promotion of social justice of indigenous peoples, minorities, and marginalized groups of Nepal, particularly focusing on women, youth, and children and a person with disabilities of those groups. So yeah, like now talking about why CBREP what is CBREP? So as CEMSOJ was increasingly working with communities affected by the development and hydropower projects here in Nepal, we were constantly being stigmatized as anti-government, and so that is why we designed the community-based renewable energy project, so that we can show to the state or government actors that how community-led renewable energy projects can be prioritized and promote in the indigenous communities. So while talking about this CBREP, although there has been like notable progress in the development of electricity or promotion of electricity in different parts of Nepal, there have been still uh, loopholes or pockets where the electricity is still uh, unreachable for the indigenous communities. And also, if there is the reach of the electricity grid, the low income or like the higher electricity charges is making them um, unaffordable to gain the electricity. Yeah. Therefore, like the CBREP is envisioned to promote. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, Therefore, CBREP is like envisioned to identify the potential local sources of energy, local sources of renewable energy in the indigenous community, and yeah, like to have their own community-led renewable energy. Yeah. So since 2021, since the beginning of the CBREP initiative in Nepal, we have provided more than 250 indigenous households with stable stable energy through the micro hydropower project or pico hydropower project, and also support being provided for targeted women empowerment for more than 100, by providing more than 100 improved cooking stoves, cooking stove to the indigenous women. Uh, yeah. So yeah, in this in this picture, I would like to share that like to make the CBREP initiative more women centered. We collaborated with the Tharu Women Upliftment Center, which is the organization which has been featured here, like which just spoke earlier, which we hear from the earlier. Over the past 2 years, we have been collaborating with TWUC to support Tharu Indigenous women in Bardiya, Nepal. And through this partnership, we have provided trainings and distributed improved cooking stoves to enhance women's health, and also to reduce household burdens and promote sustainable energy use. Yes, and building on these efforts, we uh, efforts to strengthen women's empowerment and their livelihoods, we also received a request from the Tharu Women's Farmer Group for solar irrigation pump. And in response to that, under the CBREF Phase 4, we successfully delivered 14 solar irrigation pumps to the women's farmer groups in different parts of Bardiya to support climate resilient and sustainable agricultural practices. So yeah. Therefore, like the city to talk about more on the approaches of the CBREP initiative. The CBREP initiative is grounded on the this strong community ownership approach, where communities they themselves identify their own energy needs and priorities while receiving the technical and financial support to implement these solutions. And this has encouraged high level of local ownership, and also including voluntary land contribution for micro and pico hydropower project construction. And and to strengthen the shared responsibilities, community also contribute mainly through the labor and, where possible, sometimes like the financial support for specific project components such as civil works and equipment procurement. The initiative also emphasizes sustainability by supporting users committee to manage monthly user fees for operation, maintenance, and future repairs of the system. Um, yeah, also CBRE further promotes the inclusive participations of women and women through the improved cooking stoves or like targeted assistance or targeted support like rice and flour grinding meals, enabling like the productive use of the electricity in their daily life. At the same times, youth are also encouraged to participate in project assessment and construction operation and technical management, helping to build on the local skills and also long-term community capacity. Yeah, and uh, while we are sharing our positive impacts of CBREP, there has been several challenges which remain on the ground. So one of the major challenges is the lack of resources and increasing demands. We are very grateful for the Pawanka Fund as well as REP, Right Energy Partnership, for their continuous support for making these CBREP phases happen up to now. And we are also like hopeful for their continuous support in the future. There has been lack of resources with the increasing demands that we are getting from the communities. And another challenge is also the limited level of innovation in the productive use of electricity. Although communities are encouraged to use energy for activities such as storage or processing of agricultural products, these practices still remain limited. And the participation of women and youth also has been challenging due to the patriarchal social nature and gender roles, and also limited educational opportunities for Indigenous youth. However, the initiative continues to address these barriers through greater efforts in awareness raising programs, capacity building programs, and also prioritizing youth engagement. And yeah, like while we are learning through these CVRAP initiative, we also have some recommendations at the end to promote the indigenous led energy solutions through the financing. The state financing from the state donors or investors should provide like direct, adequate, and flexible and sustained funding to do the indigenous peoples organizations or their own energy solutions. And the state and the governments should also provide subsidies or grant for the indigenous led solutions to promote the indigenous led renewable energy projects. And in the partnership, business and other actors should work in genuine partnership with indigenous peoples and follow their leadership when operating on the indigenous lands and resources. Indigenous people must be also recognized as the right holders and the decision makers in such projects, and they may not be merely seen as the beneficiaries or stakeholders. And energy initiatives should also promote public community private partnership rather than only like public private partnership to ensure meaningful community leadership as well as partnership and benefit sharing. Yeah. Yeah, this is my presentations, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity once again, and thank you all for listening to my presentation.
Thank you, Pranisha, for providing more details on the actual work in Bardiya, Nepal, and of course the general work of uh, CEMSOJ. So now we have actually around 20 minutes to have an open discussion. So we're opening the floor to everyone who want to ask questions to our speakers, or you can also chat your questions or type your questions in the chat box and we can read them out. So anyone who has a question?
Richard,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it would be good for Prisma and also Tanisha to expound further, what are the specific challenges that Indigenous women and youth are facing in relation to their full and effective participation in Indigenous renewable energy initiatives, and what are the lessons learned from their end, and how could this be addressed, no? So that we could also learn from their experience and see how it could also be replicated and applied in other communities. Since we're focusing this month's learning session on Indigenous women, but also youth. So it would be good to hear from both Prisma and Pranisha on that point.
And the other speaker, there was also not, yeah, but it was a short one. Okay, Pranisha or Prisma, if you have any more sharing on the challenges, or maybe
Or
Prisma, we can
anyone
start.
or anyone from TWUC and CEMSOJ.
Yeah, like yeah, like when I would like to share some challenges. As there was like the participation of women and youth has been like challenging in these initiatives due to the patriarchal social structures and also the gender roles and and yeah, like the youth being migrated to different other cities than their own in their from their territories. So yeah, this has been a challenge in almost like most of the project that we have, most of the in every phase that we have been initiating. And to overcome this challenge, yeah, we have been doing the awareness raising programs together with this renewable energy project initiative, community-based renewable energy initiative project, and also like the uh, capacity building program to the women and youth, especially focusing on women and youth, so that they can operate their own, they can operate their own energy projects. And also yeah, like I mean I mean to say that like we have been encouraging the youth to be a local operator in the micro hydropower and pico hydropower projects. We have been providing them the technical trainings if any maintenance is needed in future in such cases. So yeah, like in this way, like the youth has been we have been prioritizing we have been encouraging youths uh, to for the renewable energy projects. And yeah, like for the especially targeted assistance uh, for women, we have been providing the improved cooking stoves, and also like rice and flour grinding mill, as I mentioned earlier, like for the productive use of electricity through in the micro hydro and yeah, pico hydropower projects. Thank you.
Prisma, maybe you can also share. Hi, Monica, can she hear us? Okay, Prisma is.
I'm
For Tharu Women Upliftment Center, renewable energy project was a very new project, because we had not even had the basic idea of how to conduct this project, because of lack of past experiences or any trainings or any seminar or workshop regarding it. But SEMSO supported us in our initiation of renewable energy project throughout, so that we could complete the project properly. And the challenges was First of all, Tharu Women Upliftment Center didn't have any human resource which had understanding regarding renewable energy projects, and for which we had to be on regular and continuous support of CEMSOJ with who were out of our local level, and we have to be on video call or audio call for asking the support. And second was the equipment issue, because we could not get the equipment as per our requirement and as per our budget, which was locally available. And for that also we had to communicate in the capital of Nepal, which was time consuming, at the same time which was costing us in transportation also. And for repair and maintenance, though we had provided the trainings to 25 women, maybe the refreshment training was also necessary, because when there were sometimes issues that was beyond their normal issues, we had to contact to our Nareshji through video calls or audio calls for maintaining it. And if any equipment was damaged, then for the replacement was being very difficult to again take it back to the capital and bringing another equipment to us. So now the ground level water is also decreasing, and in life of indigenous community, since their life is dependent on agriculture, they are worried for the drought, because we are unable to meet the demand. And for the farmers, when it is time for plantation and keeping the seeds for future produce, it is being difficult since they are dependent on sky rainfall. So due to this drought situation, people are not able to generate income in their own homeland. So we have seen the outer migration also increasing for job opportunities. And when the solar irrigation pumps are provided, we have seen some of the family members to return from their outer India borders to work in their own land in agriculture, because now they have the proper agriculture produce. And earlier the agriculture produce was limited to their own consumption, but now they are able to produce it in business level. And we are still seeing that the water scarcity is really impacting the life of indigenous community in Bardiya. Due to irregular rainfall, sometimes there is no rainfall, and sometimes the overflow of water has impacted. And after this pilot project of renewable energy project, it has brought some excitement and some energy in women that they can also do something from agriculture. And now we are planning in Tharu Women Upliftment Center that how can we continue it and take it further for sustainable and for so this is how Tharu Women Upliftment Center is planning for taking this pilot project for further sustainable projects for the indigenous community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prisma, for the sharing on the challenges. So we see how the Taro Women's Upliftment Center have actually improved their and actually moved to agricultural activities with their renewable energy. Is there anyone else who want to ask questions? If none, we have just 5 minutes left in the webinar. So again, thank you to the Taro Women's Upliftment Center and the Community Empowerment and Social Justice Network for sharing the important work on renewable energy of indigenous peoples in Nepal. For our upcoming sessions, we will be sharing with everyone again in a month's time the next webinar, and we hope that you will again join our webinar next month. So we will, if you allow us, we can include again your emails in the email list for the next session. So again, thank you everyone for joining us today, and we
Thank
hope
you.
again to see you
Thank
next
you so
time.
much. Thank you so much. Bye bye.